could never work between us. As much as we wanted to, it could never be. Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
Yeah, this clip was my first impression of ghost stories back in 2018. It now has 14 million views, but what made ghost stories so special to so many people? I've never seen it before, but obviously I've heard about it before from a video by Scamboli and other anime YouTubers. I was just too broke to afford Crunchyroll.
Talking about me?
And I also have 90s phobia. I don't like how they looked back in the day. But seeing this clip again and the multiple outrageous clips that belong to this anime,
Now we'll never find out who the ghost is. I hope to God you're adopted.
I decided it was time. I got to watch it over Halloween weekend. It's now or never. So, how was it? It was shit. The anime is 20 episodes in total, so I'm gonna try to summarize it as quick as possible. Satsuki moves with her little brother and dad to the hometown of her deceased mother. On her first day of school, her little brother, neighbor Hajime, older classmate Momoko, and Leo visit the abandoned school building next to the current school. And what is gonna happen in an abandoned building? Ghost shit. This building is haunted and all type of ghosts appear, but all of them are soon to be free due to something called urbanization. In their first ghost encounter, they're fighting a demon, but he's actually sealed within Satsuki's pet cat, Kaya. The danger soon threatens to envelop the town and is left up to Satsuki and Co. to stop all the ghosts. And that's about it for ghost stories. Shout out Wikipedia. Or is it? That's just all of the things they couldn't change. Because when I tell you, these are the only similarities between the English and Japanese version, barring the names. For example, the characters were something else. In the ADV dub, Momoko turned from a brave, fearless woman into a crazy, born-again Evangelion Christian with a wild past.
Before I met Jesus, I was really f***ed up. No, and a slut.
Kai went from a little kid with slight incompetence to being mentally challenged and having dyslexia.
Please, speak!
No one in these cast of characters were safe in this story, not even the dead. Satsuki's mother was changed to a hidden lesbian that went to a conversion camp in a hospital. And everything that I just mentioned so far, it kind of just works. The crude and unique nature of each character, no matter who they are, and how the story has goldfish memory. Everyone was denying the fact that ghosts existed the next episode after seeing a 50-foot giant. These are all great for this type of anime, given how crazy it is. And finally, the horror, which was actually the main part of the story, was actually good. You know, it got me a few times and all, and was much better at scaring me than Uzumaki and a lot of other horror animes. But how was this allowed? Stephen Foster, or now Steven with a 7, Steven Svensson? I don't know, is a writer and producer at ADV Dub. Now Steven, you know, he's known a bit in the anime community for changing dubs once or twice maybe, you know, not too much. But when a show came to his desk about a Japanese version of Scooby-Doo, but they're elementary schoolers, he heard that this didn't even sell well. It actually bombed in Japan, so it wasn't going to sell in America. Even Fuji TV, the distributors, knew that. So they created 2 rules for ADV to follow. Don't change the characters' names and don't change the way the ghosts are slain. With freedom and a light bulb in his head, Steven started cooking up the most diabolical English dub script ever seen. filled with pop culture references, political satire, fourth wall breaking jokes about the anime's low quality. Of course, it's the same studio as Bleach, and anime cliches. He even let the voice actors get in on the jokes. The first person to show up could say anything they wanted, and the rest of the cast had to build upon that. And these weren't any scrubs of VA. These are some of the most well-known anime English voice actors in the entire industry. Monica Rial, Chris Patton, Greg Ayres, and they all rushed to get into the box first. Getting to let loose and saying anything at your job is fun.
Momoko is right. You should go Gandhi and show kindness to your enemies, and by doing so, turn them into friends.
You're a and he should join the football team.
But remember when I told you it didn't sell well? I lied. Actually, the whole cast were told lies, and everything about Ghost Story bombing is a lie. And the original was a top 10 weekly most viewed anime, and still holds favorable ratings in Japan rating sites. It even had a live action before an anime, so it didn't bomb in Japan. Why did they change the entire anime? It was just too much about Japan folklore that Americans just wouldn't get it, and the dub just wouldn't get an audience flat out. I'ma be honest, I didn't know a single one of these 20 ghosts, alright? So they thought, why not turn it into a crazy funny anime for the funsy onesies? And people kind of dislike Steven for it and many other reasons, even though they're most likely Japan weeaboos and aren't actually arguing for it to be changed, while he's just on YouTube making videos. But I don't know what's funnier, the fact that the English dub is more accessible than the actual sub, or the dub even existing in the first place. Because what? The most infamous part of the dub is the language. They were using every slur and insult you can imagine, and some of the craziest lines in anime were born from it.
Think of a big black man chasing you! Well, he's not racist.
Is this not crazy? When have we ever seen an anime talk like this before or after? I haven't. Ghost Stories is just special because of that. Anime dubs naturally are some of the most cringiest things to listen to sometimes. People say, no, it's because the sub is not in your language that you don't see it as cringe. No, it's usually because the words just don't translate that well. It doesn't sound natural in English. It sounds like someone put it through Google Translate usually. But Ghost Stories made it listenable. It was a good dub. They completed the impossible. Most of the anime sounded like a natural conversation between humans.
Have you accepted Jesus as your personal savior?
No, I'm Jewish.
And most importantly, elementary and middle schoolers. Have you been around them? I'm talking about 8 to 12, and are the most edgiest, sarcastic, and corniest people on this planet. And that works well in this anime. They're just a bunch of kids ghost hunting. And for the jokes in the dub, they weren't targeting one group. No, it was everyone. They made fun of anything. The voice actors even made fun of themselves. And that is the true appeal of dark humor, and most importantly, Ghost Stories. It was true equal rights. It got a little laugh out of me, but this dub turned a mediocre kids anime, yes, a mediocre kids anime, to one of the most funniest and well-known animes of all time. But it's still ugly though. Hey, what did I say wrong? At the end of the day, you decide what you enjoy, but this shit was funny as fuck to me, and one of the true once-in-a-lifetime experience watching the craziest anime dub to ever exist. I try to keep the spoilers on a low so y'all could watch it for yourselves and have a laugh. Happy Halloween, love y'all as always, make sure you don't consume lunchly mold, and peace.